You will stand
Ethan
down
lived in
or
a
face the
quiet town where
consequences.
evenings usually passed in a calm and peaceful way. The sky often turned a soft shade of purple after sunset, and the warm wind moved through the trees like a gentle whisper. People in the town liked simple lives. They enjoyed slow walks, small conversations, and silent nights. Ethan also liked this silence. It helped him think. It allowed him to breathe and feel steady after long days of work. On this particular night, the calm feeling of the town changed without warning. Ethan was sitting on the wooden bench outside his small house, watching the sky slowly darken. He enjoyed sunsets because they reminded him that every day had a natural ending and a new beginning. He never expected anything unusual to happen. He expected only another quiet night. As he looked at the horizon, he noticed something strange. A small silver light appeared far in the distance. At first, he thought it was a plane. Planes were common in the area, and he often saw them passing overhead. But this light was different. It did not move like a plane. It did not blink. It stayed steady and bright. Then it began to grow bigger as if it were coming closer at a very fast speed. Ethan stood up slowly. His heart beat a little faster, not from fear but from sudden curiosity. The air around him felt slightly warmer, and the ground under his feet vibrated in a gentle but unusual way. He took a few steps forward, staring at the strange light. It looked smooth and controlled. There was no sound, no wind rush, no noise at all. It was silent in a way that did not feel natural. The silver light stopped above the open field near his home. For a moment, it simply hovered there. Ethan felt a mix of wonder and confusion. He knew he should probably go inside his house, but something about the light pulled him closer. It looked almost gentle, not threatening. It felt as if it wanted him to see it. Slowly, the light came down toward the field. As it reached the ground, the bright glow softened. Ethan could now see the shape more clearly. It was a sleek craft with smooth curves and silver plates that reflected the moonlight. It looked like something built with great care and skill. There were no markings or symbols on its surface. It looked almost too perfect, like it did not belong to the world he knew. Ethan walked toward the field until he was close enough to feel a warm wave of air coming from the craft. It was not hot or cold, just a gentle warmth that made him feel strangely calm. The grass around the craft glowed softly as if touched by some kind of energy. Nothing about it felt harmful. Nothing felt threatening. Then a soft humming sound began. A small door on the side of the craft opened with a slow and smooth motion. A soft white light shone from inside. Ethan held his breath. He knew something or someone was coming out. He tried to prepare himself, though he had no idea what he was preparing for. A tall figure stepped out of the craft. The figure moved with grace, almost like flowing water. As it came into the moonlight, Ethan saw that it was a woman, though not fully human. Her skin had a gentle silver glow, like polished metal reflecting starlight. Her eyes were bright and calm. Her dark hair flowed behind her like strands of soft night. She wore light armor that looked strong yet elegant. She carried no weapon in her hands. Her presence felt peaceful. Ethan did not move. He only watched, trying to understand what he was seeing. The woman stepped onto the grass, and the energy around the craft softened even more. She looked around for a moment, studying the field, the sky, the air, as if trying to understand this world. Then she looked at Ethan. The moment her eyes met his, something changed in her expression. Her confident posture softened. Her breath caught. She froze in place as if her entire world had suddenly shifted. Her eyes grew wide with shock. She looked not like a warrior now, but like someone who had just seen a memory come alive. Ethan felt confused. He had done nothing. He had said nothing. But the way she looked at him felt personal, almost emotional. She whispered something in a soft voice, too soft for him to hear clearly. She took a slow step forward, then stopped again as if unsure of her own movement. Ethan finally spoke, keeping his voice steady and calm because he did not want to scare her or misunderstand her. "Who are you?" The woman's lips trembled slightly. She stared at him with a look that held curiosity, confusion, and something deeper that Ethan could not name yet. Then she spoke in clear, gentle words. "You look exactly like my husband." Ethan did not understand her meaning at first. He blinked slowly, surprised by her words. He had never seen this woman before in his life. She looked like she came from a world far away from Earth, yet she spoke to him as if he were someone dear to her. Someone important. The woman seemed to realize his confusion. She placed one hand on her chest in a respectful gesture. Her voice grew steadier though still soft with emotion. "My name is Lyra. I am a warrior from a distant world. I did not expect to see anyone here who carried the same face as my husband. He was a leader on my home world. He was brave and wise. But he vanished during a mission many seasons ago." Ethan listened carefully. He felt sympathy for her loss. He did not know what to say, but he tried to speak gently. "I am sorry for what happened. But I am not your husband. I have lived here all my life." Lyra nodded slowly. She understood that he was not the same person, yet the shock in her eyes remained. She stepped closer, stopping a safe distance away, as if trying not to startle him. The soft silver glow around her armor reflected the moonlight beautifully. "I know you are not him," she said. "But you look exactly like him. Your face, your voice, your presence. This is not common in the universe. Such similarities do not happen without reason." Ethan felt a strange warmth in his chest. He had lived his entire life believing he was an ordinary human. Now someone from a distant world was telling him that he resembled a leader from another planet. It did not make sense, yet something about her words felt honest. Lyra took a slow breath and looked around the quiet field. Everything about Earth was new to her. She seemed to sense that this world was peaceful and gentle in its own way. When she looked back at Ethan, her eyes carried a thoughtful light. "I traveled across the stars searching for answers," she said. "I did not expect to find a face that would make me stop in my path. There must be a connection. Even if small. Even if hidden." Ethan stepped a little closer now. He felt no fear. Only curiosity. "What do you think the connection is?" Lyra looked at him with steady eyes full of quiet strength. "I do not know yet. But the universe does not create such things without purpose. There is something here we are meant to discover." Ethan felt the night air grow still again. The world seemed to pause around them. The silver craft behind Lyra hummed softly, as if listening too. For the first time in his life, Ethan felt that something larger than himself had reached out to him. Something unplanned. Something mysterious. Something that could change everything. The quiet field where he had spent countless evenings was no longer just a field. It was now the place where a new path had opened. A path he could not yet see clearly but could feel pulling him gently forward. Lyra stood calmly in the moonlight, a warrior from another world who saw a familiar face in a stranger. Ethan stood before her, an ordinary human whose life had suddenly become extraordinary. The night held no fear for either of them. Only a strange sense of connection. A feeling that two different lives had crossed for a reason neither of them could explain yet. It was the beginning of something important. The start of a journey neither of them had expected. The night sky was still bright with stars when Ethan followed Lyra back to the edge of the field. His heart still beat faster than usual. He could not stop thinking about her words. His life had always been ordinary. He worked, walked in the town, and lived quietly. Nothing had ever prepared him for someone from another world to appear and say that he looked exactly like her husband. Lyra walked gracefully, her armor softly clinking with each step. She seemed to feel the energy of the earth around her. Every leaf, every blade of grass, every small breeze seemed new and alive to her. Ethan felt that she noticed details no human had ever taken the time to see. Her presence was calm, but her eyes held urgency. She had traveled across galaxies for a purpose, and now that she had found him, she seemed determined to understand what had brought them together. They walked in silence for a few minutes. Ethan finally spoke, trying to sound calm and careful. "Why did you come here?" Lyra asked. "Why Earth?" Lyra stopped and looked at him. Her eyes glowed softly in the moonlight, though not in a way that was bright or threatening. Her gaze seemed to look past him, past the field, as if she were remembering something far away. "My home world is distant from this place," she said. "My husband was a protector. He worked to keep peace among many worlds. Long ago, he went on a mission, and he did not return. I have spent many seasons searching, following threads across galaxies. Every signal, every small sign, I traced them until they led me here." Ethan listened carefully. He could not imagine a life like hers. Traveling across stars, searching for someone who disappeared long ago. Yet her voice was calm. It was steady. It carried no anger, no bitterness. Only hope and quiet determination. "I do not understand why," she continued. "Why would my life be connected to your search?" Lyra looked at him more closely now. Her eyes seemed to measure him in ways that words could not describe. She raised her hand and touched his arm gently, almost like testing a thought. "You carry something rare," she said softly. "Something that belongs to the universe itself. It is called a star echo. My husband carried it once. It gave him strength, clarity, and a way to protect others. I do not know how or why, but you carry the same echo." Ethan felt a chill run through him. He did not know what a star echo was. He had never even heard of it. But her words did not sound like a lie. They felt honest. They felt important. "A star echo, what does it mean?" he asked. Lyra took a deep breath. Her chest rose and fell slowly as she spoke. "It is a part of life that connects beings across worlds. It is a pattern of energy, peaceful and strong. It does not harm. It does not take away. It gives the heart courage and the mind clarity. Those who carry it have a chance to make a difference, to bring peace, to protect. My husband carried it to help many worlds. I believe the echo in you is the same. That is why I came." Ethan did not know what to say. His life had been ordinary. He had never thought about protecting worlds, never thought about traveling beyond his town, beyond Earth. Yet here was a woman from another world telling him that he carried something special. Something meant for more than himself. Lyra noticed his hesitation and smiled faintly, almost like a mother comforting a child who did not yet understand their own strength. "I know this is a lot to hear," she said. "I did not expect you to understand everything now. But I wanted to meet you, to see the echo, to learn if there is a connection. Sometimes the universe places lives together for reasons we cannot immediately see." Ethan nodded slowly. He felt a mixture of fear and excitement. Fear because his life had changed in an instant. Excitement because he felt that his life had a purpose beyond what he had imagined. "Where do we go from here?" he asked. Lyra looked at him carefully. She stepped back and raised her hand toward the sky. A beam of soft light appeared from her armor, pointing toward the silver craft behind them. "We go to my ship," she said. "There is something I must show you. Something that may help you understand the echo." Ethan felt nervous but followed her. The craft's door was already open, waiting for them. As he stepped inside, he was amazed. The interior was unlike anything he had ever seen. Soft lights floated along the walls without a source. Panels displayed information in shapes and colors he could not recognize. There were no visible controls like buttons or levers. Yet everything responded to movement and thought. Lyra guided him to a small platform in the center of the craft. She placed a small device near him, shaped like a crystal. It pulsed gently, emitting waves of soft blue light. This will help you see the echo, she explained. It will not harm you. It will only reveal the connection between your life and my husband's. Ethan stepped forward carefully. The moment he touched the crystal, he felt a warmth spread through his body. His mind seemed to expand, and he saw flashes of light and shapes he could not name. He felt emotions that were not entirely his own: courage, hope, responsibility, and strength. Lyra watched him closely. Her eyes reflected awe and relief. "It is true," she whispered. "The echo is within you. You carry it exactly as he did." Ethan tried to understand the feeling. It was strong but calm. It did not frighten him. Instead, it made him feel steady. It made him feel that he could face challenges he never thought he could. "What does this mean?" he asked. Lyra smiled faintly. She stepped closer and placed a hand on his shoulder. "It means you are part of something bigger," she said. "It means your life has a purpose beyond what you have imagined. My husband carried this echo to protect worlds. I believe you may do the same here, on Earth, and perhaps beyond." Ethan took a deep breath. He realized that the quiet life he had lived was about to change completely. Yet he did not feel fear. He felt calm and curious. He wanted to learn more. He wanted to understand the connection between him and this mysterious warrior from another world. Lyra gestured to a screen that suddenly appeared in front of them. Images and symbols moved across it. There were stars, planets, and beams of light connecting different worlds. She pointed to one glowing point that pulsed gently. "This is your star," she explained. "It is Earth. Your echo is here, but it is also part of the universe. You are connected to the balance of many worlds, even if you do not yet understand it." Ethan looked at the glowing point. For the first time, he felt that he was part of something far larger than himself. He felt a responsibility he had never imagined. Yet he also felt excitement. He felt the thrill of a journey that was just beginning. Lyra turned to him again. Her eyes were calm but filled with purpose. "I did not come here to frighten you," she said. "I came to help you understand. To show you that your life is not ordinary. I believe the echo has brought us together for a reason. Together we may uncover answers that no one else can find." Ethan nodded. He felt a sense of trust growing between them. He did not know what the future held. He did not know what challenges awaited. But he felt that with her guidance, he could learn to understand the echo, to see its purpose, and perhaps to make a difference beyond what he had ever dreamed. The craft hummed softly around them. The lights continued to glow and shift. The air felt alive, yet peaceful. Ethan felt that he had stepped into a new chapter of his life. A chapter that would lead him across worlds, beyond Earth, and into the mysteries of the universe. For the first time, Ethan realized that the ordinary life he had known was only the beginning. Something greater had found him. Something extraordinary had chosen him. And the journey was only beginning. He looked at Lyra, who stood tall and steady, her armor shining softly in the craft's gentle light. Her gaze met his, calm yet filled with hope. She had crossed galaxies to find him. She believed in the echo within him. And now, for the first time, he believed in himself in a way he never had before. Ethan knew that nothing would be the same again. The night, the field, the quiet town, all of it had changed. His life had opened to the stars, to the possibility of adventure, and to the chance to carry a gift that could shape the universe. And so, with a steady heart, he prepared to step forward into a new world, one guided by the echo, by courage, and by the mysterious connection that had brought a warrior from the stars to his quiet field on Earth. The silver craft moved silently over the fields of Earth. Ethan stood near a softly glowing panel, watching the world below shrink into a patchwork of forests, rivers, and towns. Everything he had known from his quiet life now felt small, fragile, yet important in a larger universe he had never imagined. Lyra stood beside him, her gaze focused ahead. She moved with grace, but there was an underlying urgency in her steps. She was a warrior, and though she carried herself with calm, her purpose was clear. She had traveled across galaxies to find someone like Ethan, and now that she intended to uncover every secret his life held. Ethan felt a mixture of excitement and uncertainty. The echo inside him pulsed gently, like a heartbeat he could feel in the core of his being. It was neither frightening nor overwhelming. Instead, it brought clarity. It whispered that there was something he was meant to discover. Lyra noticed his glance and spoke softly. "The echo is responding," she said. "It recognizes your presence, but there is more to see. I believe there are memories, fragments, or patterns within you that may connect you to my husband." Ethan nodded, feeling the weight of her words. He had always thought of himself as ordinary. He never imagined that his life could hold connections beyond Earth. Yet here he was, traveling across stars with a warrior from another world, about to uncover a truth he could not yet see. They entered a chamber at the center of the ship. The walls were lined with floating crystals, each emitting a soft hum. The air vibrated faintly, carrying a sense of history and knowledge. Lyra gestured toward one of the crystals. "This will help reveal the hidden link," she explained. "It is a memory scanner, but it does not invade or harm. It simply allows the echo within you to communicate." Ethan stepped forward. The crystal hovered in front of him. As soon as he touched it, a soft light surrounded his hands. The hum grew slightly louder, gentle and harmonious, as though the ship itself recognized the energy within him. Images flashed before his eyes. They were not his memories, yet they felt familiar. He saw a man standing on a distant world, tall and noble, wearing armor that resembled Lyra's. He carried a staff that pulsed with energy. The man spoke to people from different worlds, giving guidance, offering help, and making decisions with care and wisdom. Ethan blinked. He had never seen this place or this man before. Yet he felt an emotional connection that was undeniable. "Who is he?" he whispered, his voice trembling. Lyra placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. Her touch was warm, steady, grounding him as the visions continued. "He is my husband," she said softly. "He carried the echo before you. He helped worlds in ways you may not yet understand. The echo connects not just life, but purpose. That is why you were born with it." Ethan felt the weight of her words. The idea that he was connected to a man he had never met was overwhelming, yet the clarity of the echo made it feel natural. The visions shifted again, showing the same man fighting to protect a planet from a storm of energy, guiding beings who had never seen hope. The man's actions were calm, deliberate, yet full of strength. Ethan realized that the echo was not just a signal or energy. It was knowledge, instinct, and responsibility. It was a way of being that could carry through generations, through different worlds, even through time itself. Lyra watched him carefully, noticing his understanding grow. "You are not a copy," she said quietly. "You are different. The echo within you may be the same, but how you use it will be your own. That is why this link exists. To guide you, to give you a chance to discover your own path." Ethan closed his eyes for a moment. He felt the connection deepen. The pulse of the echo grew stronger, filling him with warmth and courage. He understood that he was standing at the beginning of something greater than his own life. "What do I need to do?" he asked. Lyra smiled faintly. She gestured toward a small console that floated in the air. "First, we need to explore the echoes within you. The device will show patterns, abilities, and memories that your conscious mind does not yet understand. Each step will help you connect to your purpose and the legacy of the echo." Ethan approached the console. The moment his hands hovered near it, the soft light responded to him. Symbols and images moved fluidly across the surface. Some were familiar, like patterns of light in the stars he had seen from Earth. Others were strange, showing worlds he could not name and beings that looked unlike anything on Earth. Lyra explained each symbol patiently. "These are worlds that were protected by the echo," she said. "They were saved, guided, or helped in small ways. Some still faced challenges, but all felt the presence of the echo in ways their inhabitants could not fully understand. Ethan listened carefully. He began to feel a responsibility he had never known. The idea that he could influence something beyond his world, something as vast as the stars themselves, was powerful. Yet the echo was gentle. It did not push him. It guided him. It allowed him to learn, to grow, to discover. As the images continued, Ethan noticed one that stood out. It was Earth, his home. But the vision was different. There were events unfolding, choices to be made, paths to follow. He realized that the echo was not only about distant worlds. It had a purpose here, on his planet as well. Lyra noticed his focus. She nodded, understanding his realization. The echo is not just cosmic, she said. It is personal. It can guide you on your own world, your own life. That is why it brought me here. That is why we met. Ethan felt a wave of determination. He had always thought of himself as ordinary, yet the echo showed him that he was capable of extraordinary things. He could help, guide, and protect, not just others, but his own world. Lyra extended her hand toward him. Are you ready to explore further? She asked. Are you ready to discover the abilities and memories that the echo has preserved? Ethan took a deep breath. His pulse was steady. He felt the warmth of the echo in his chest, and he felt calm. Yes, he said. I want to understand. The crystal and console glowed brighter, and the ship seemed to respond. Ethan felt a stream of understanding flow into him, gentle yet powerful. He saw moments of bravery, kindness, and guidance. He saw how his choices could shape lives, not by force, but through clarity, courage, and wisdom. Lyra observed quietly. She knew that the awakening of the echo was always a personal journey. Each individual experienced it differently. For Ethan, it was both revelation and preparation. Hours passed, though time felt different inside the ship. The stars outside continued their silent motion, and the planet below rotated slowly. Ethan's understanding of the echo deepened with every passing moment. He could sense energy, patterns, and life in a way he never had. He began to feel connected not just to the universe, but to all living things. Lyra finally spoke again. You are ready, she said. You understand the link, the echo, and the responsibility it brings. But there is more to learn. Actions will define the path, not knowledge alone. Together we will uncover the remaining truths. Ethan nodded. He felt a mixture of excitement and calm confidence. For the first time, he understood that his ordinary life had prepared him for this moment. Every experience, every choice, every day had led him to this connection, this opportunity, and this path. He looked at Lyra, whose presence was steady, protective, and strong. She had crossed the stars, searching for answers. Now she had found them in him. Together, they would discover what the echo could truly do, how it could guide, and how it could protect both Earth and worlds beyond. For the first time, Ethan felt that he was not alone. He was part of a larger story, one that stretched across galaxies, connected through echoes of courage, wisdom, and purpose. The hidden link had revealed itself. It had chosen him, guided him, and opened the path to something extraordinary. And in that quiet chamber, surrounded by glowing crystals and the hum of the ship, Ethan knew that his life had changed forever. The hidden link was not just a connection to another being. It was a connection to the universe itself. The journey was only beginning, and every choice he made from this point forward would shape not only his life but the lives of countless others across worlds he had yet to see. Ethan felt ready. The echo had awakened. And with Lyra by his side, he was prepared to discover the full power of the star echo, the legacy of her husband, and the extraordinary role he was destined to play in the universe. Ethan stood in the center of the ship, surrounded by softly glowing panels and floating crystals. The hum of the craft was steady and comforting. Every sound, every light, felt alive, as if the ship itself understood the presence of the star echo within him. He had spent hours exploring the memories, patterns, and visions the echo offered. He was learning to feel its energy, to understand its guidance, and to recognize the quiet strength it gave him. Lyra watched him with calm attention. Her eyes reflected pride and relief. The journey across galaxies had been long, and finding Ethan was only the first step. The real task was to awaken the full potential of the echo within him and to reveal the truth of the stars. Ethan's mind was full of questions, and he finally spoke. "What was your world like?" Lyra asked. "What was your husband like?" Lyra took a slow breath. Her gaze softened as she looked at the stars through the ship's transparent dome. "My world is called Valoria," she said. "It is a place of forests, mountains, and rivers, but also cities filled with knowledge and wisdom. We value balance, peace, and courage. My husband was brave and kind. He carried the echo with wisdom, using it to protect not only our world but others across the galaxy. He never sought power for himself. His strength was in his care for life and his desire to guide and protect." Ethan listened, fascinated. He tried to imagine a world so far away, filled with people who valued courage and peace above all. And he thought about her husband, a man who carried the echo, a legacy now connected to him. He could feel a growing sense of responsibility in his chest, stronger than any emotion he had felt before. "How did he disappear?" she asked, her voice quiet and measured. "What happened?" Lyra's eyes darkened slightly, reflecting sorrow she had carried for many seasons. "He went on a mission to help a world threatened by a massive energy storm. He used the echo to guide them and protect them, but the storm was too strong. The last message we received showed he was safe, but then he vanished. I have searched ever since, hoping that someday, somehow, he would return." Ethan felt the weight of her words. He realized that the echo was not just energy or knowledge. It was also connection, love, and memory. Lyra's search was not only for her husband but for the continuation of the legacy he had left behind. And now, in a way he did not fully understand, that legacy was in him. Lyra moved closer to him, her hand resting lightly on his shoulder. "The echo," she said softly, "is within you. It is not exactly the same as his, but it carries the same pattern, the same potential. You are not a copy. You are the next step. You have the chance to guide, protect, and learn in ways even he could not." Ethan felt a warmth spread through his chest. The words were not just reassuring. They carried truth and possibility. He realized that the echo was not a burden. It was a gift, waiting for him to use it wisely. "What do I need to do?" he asked, determination growing in his voice. Lyra gestured toward a holographic map that floated in the air. Stars, planets, and glowing paths connected them like a web of light. "The universe is vast," she explained. "Many worlds face challenges. Some are in danger, some are in need of guidance. The echo can help you understand these worlds, sense their needs, and respond with clarity and wisdom. But first, you must learn to control it, to listen, and to act with patience." Ethan studied the map. He saw worlds with stormy skies, planets with wild forests, cities with glowing lights. Every world seemed alive, full of life waiting to be understood. He realized that the echo was a bridge. It connected him not just to Lyra's husband but to life across the stars. "I understand," he said quietly. "I can feel it. I can feel the connection." Lyra nodded. She looked at him with a mix of pride and hope. "Good," she said. "The first step is understanding the energy within you. The echo is calm and peaceful, but it reacts to choices, emotions, and intentions. You will feel its guidance. Sometimes it will be subtle. Sometimes it will be strong. But it will always lead you to what is right." Ethan took a deep breath. He closed his eyes and focused on the pulse of the echo. It was steady, like a heartbeat beneath his own. He felt a gentle warmth spread through his body, a sense of connection to everything around him. He could sense life on earth, the grass below, the trees, the animals, the people. He could also sense distant worlds, faint whispers of life across the stars. Lyra watched silently. She knew this was the moment when the echo would truly awaken. Now she said, "Reach deeper. Let the echo show you what it wants you to see." Ethan concentrated. The soft hum of the ship seemed to grow louder, but not in sound. It was a vibration in his mind, in his spirit. He saw visions of his own life, choices he had made, and paths he could take. Then the visions expanded, showing lives on other worlds, challenges to overcome, and moments of guidance and protection. He saw a village threatened by a storm, and he understood how the echo could guide people to safety. He saw creatures in a dense forest, lost and confused, and he sensed how he could help them find balance. The visions were not instructions. They were possibilities. The echo gave him clarity, but it left the choice to him. Lyra spoke again, her voice calm and steady. "The echo does not command you," she said. "It guides, it informs, it connects. You make the choices. That is why you are not a copy of my husband. You are your own person. You will use the echo in your own way, guided by your heart and mind." Ethan opened his eyes. He felt a calm confidence. He knew now that the echo was more than energy. It was understanding, awareness, and responsibility. It was a way to connect to life, to guide, and to protect without controlling. "Can I see Earth?" she asked suddenly, her voice holding curiosity. Ethan focused again. The echo pulsed gently. He felt the life of his planet as a whole. Cities, forests, rivers, and mountains. He saw people moving about, unaware of the quiet energy connecting them. The echo allowed him to feel without interfering, to understand without changing. Lyra smiled faintly. She had not expected to see the planet through his connection. Yet it was clear. He was attuned. He could feel the heartbeat of Earth. That was a sign of great potential. "Now," she said, "there is something more. A message from my husband." He left words in the echo, hidden as guidance for the next carrier. "You must discover them." Ethan focused harder. The light of the echo pulsed stronger, guiding him to hidden patterns in the energy. Words formed in his mind, soft but clear. They were not spoken, yet he understood. Help those in need. Protect life. Seek understanding. Trust your heart. Let courage guide your choices. The echo is your path, but your spirit is your compass. He opened his eyes. The words were his own now, clear and understood. He realized that the echo was not only guidance. It was connection to a legacy of courage, kindness, and wisdom. He understood his purpose, yet he knew that the journey had just begun. Lyra placed her hand on his shoulder. "You see now," she said. "You are part of something greater. The echo brought you here, but your choices will define the path. Remember, courage and understanding are stronger than force. Wisdom is stronger than strength." Ethan nodded. He felt a calm confidence he had never known. He felt ready to face the challenges, to explore the possibilities, and to discover the true potential of the echo within him. The stars outside the ship continued their silent motion. Worlds moved in harmony, guided by forces he could only begin to understand. Yet for the first time, Ethan felt connected, aware, and capable. He was ready to discover the truth of the stars, not as a follower, but as a carrier of the echo, a bridge between life across galaxies. The hidden link between him and Lyra's husband was clear now. It was not about copying, or replacing, or imitating. It was about continuation, growth, and responsibility. He carried the legacy, but he would write his own story, guided by courage, wisdom, and the quiet strength of the echo. For the first time in his life, Ethan understood the stars not as distant lights, but as guides. He understood that life, choice, and courage were connected across the universe. And with Lyra by his side, he knew that he could face the unknown with calm, purpose, and determination. The journey ahead was vast. Challenges awaited. Worlds would need guidance. Life would ask for courage. And yet, Ethan felt no fear. He felt readiness. The echo had awakened, the truth of the stars was clear, and he was prepared to step forward, to carry the legacy, and to discover the extraordinary possibilities that lay ahead. The silver craft moved through the night sky, gliding silently over Earth. Ethan stood near the viewing dome, staring at the familiar world below. Cities glittered faintly in the darkness, rivers reflected the moonlight, and forests stretched endlessly, full of life. For the first time, he saw his planet differently. It was more than a home. It was alive, connected to the energy of life across the stars, and to the echo within him. Lyra stood beside him, calm and steady, her hand resting lightly on the console. She watched Ethan carefully, understanding that he was ready to take the next step in his journey. He had learned to feel the echo, understand its guidance, and recognize the hidden link to her husband's legacy. Now it was time for him to act on what he had discovered. Ethan turned to her, his eyes filled with determination. "I understand now," he said. "I can feel the connection. I can feel what needs to be done. But I do not know where to start." Lyra smiled faintly. "The first step," she said, "is always the hardest. You must decide where your guidance is most needed. The echo will respond, but your choice will define your path. You are ready to help, to protect, and to guide. But the journey begins with understanding your own world." Ethan nodded slowly. He closed his eyes, focusing on the echo. It pulsed softly, steady like a heartbeat. He felt the life of Earth around him, people moving through their days, animals in forests, rivers flowing, winds moving across mountains. He sensed patterns of need, small moments where guidance could help prevent harm or bring understanding. He felt responsibility, but not fear. The echo did not demand. It guided gently, like a hand on his shoulder leading him forward. He opened his eyes and looked at Lyra. "I know where I must begin," he said. "I see places, people, moments where I can help. I want to do it here first, on Earth. Then, when I am ready, I can help beyond." Lyra nodded, approval shining in her eyes. "Good," she said. "You will not be alone. I will guide you, train you, and help you understand the echo in action. Your first steps will be small, but they are important. Every action, every choice, will build your strength and wisdom." Ethan felt a sense of calm determination. He realized that the echo was more than energy. It was purpose. It was clarity. It was the chance to do something meaningful. For the first time, he understood that his ordinary life had prepared him for extraordinary moments. Every decision he had ever made, every lesson learned, had brought him to this point. Lyra led him to a section of the ship filled with floating holographic displays. Each display represented a world, a situation, or a life that needed attention. Some were distant planets. Some were events on Earth. Each one glowed softly, waiting for guidance. Ethan reached out to touch one of the panels showing a small town. He saw a river rising after heavy rains, threatening homes. He felt the echo respond, showing him where people could be guided safely, where resources could be directed, and how his knowledge could prevent harm. He understood quickly. He was not acting alone. The echo allowed him to sense patterns, opportunities, and possibilities. His guidance would not force events, but it would bring clarity to choices that could save lives and protect balance. Lyra watched as Ethan worked. "You are learning quickly," she said. "The echo recognizes your intentions. It will respond more strongly when you act with clarity, courage, and compassion. Remember, strength is not only in action. It is in understanding and patience." Ethan nodded. He felt a quiet pride, but no arrogance. The echo reminded him that he was part of something larger, and that each step must be careful, thoughtful, and guided by purpose. After several hours of practice, the ship began its descent. Ethan felt the pull of Earth beneath them. The world he had known all his life now felt alive with opportunity and purpose. He realized that the journey of the Echo was not only about distant stars, but about the life he had always known and the choices he could make to protect it. Lyra guided the craft to a quiet field outside his town. The ground glowed faintly under the ship's lights as it settled. Ethan stepped out and felt the familiar soil beneath his feet, yet it felt different. It was connected to the universe in ways he could now sense. The grass, the wind, even the air carried energy that he could feel and guide. "We start here," she said. "There are small moments where your guidance is needed. They may seem ordinary, but the Echo will show you their importance." Ethan nodded. He felt ready. He focused on the Echo, feeling the pulse of life around him. A small fire had started near a forest edge, threatening wildlife and homes. The Echo guided him, showing safe paths for animals, ways to alert people, and methods to prevent further harm. He acted carefully, calmly, and with purpose. The fire was contained, the animals were safe, and the townspeople were guided to understanding. Ethan felt the satisfaction of using the Echo in action. It was not about power. It was about awareness, connection, and the ability to make choices that protected life. Lyra observed, silently proud. "You have taken your first step," she said. "Each action will build your confidence and understanding. The Echo responds to you now, not just in knowledge, but in action. Your journey has truly begun." Ethan felt a calm joy. He had always wanted to make a difference, but he had never imagined it would be in this way. He realized that the Echo was not only a tool. It was a guide, a partner, and a legacy of courage that had traveled across galaxies to reach him. Days passed, and Ethan learned to use the Echo in small but meaningful ways. He helped towns, guided travelers, and prevented natural disasters. Each action strengthened his understanding and connection. He began to see life not just as individual events, but as a network of choices, opportunities, and responsibilities. Lyra guided him at every step, teaching him to sense patterns, understand intentions, and act with purpose. She shared stories of her husband, of worlds he had helped, and of the lessons the Echo had taught him. Ethan listened carefully, absorbing knowledge and wisdom, and learning that courage and understanding were stronger than force. One evening, as they stood under a sky full of stars, Ethan spoke quietly. "I understand now," he said. "I know my purpose. The Echo has shown me the importance of life, guidance, and choice. I want to continue learning, and I want to help wherever I am needed." Lyra smiled. Her eyes reflected hope and trust. "You are ready," she said. "The journey will take you beyond Earth, to worlds that need guidance, to life that requires protection, and to challenges that will test your courage. But I believe in you. The Echo has chosen well." Ethan felt a sense of calm determination. He knew that the journey ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges, moments of doubt, and difficult choices. But he also knew that he had the strength, the guidance, and the wisdom to act with courage and clarity. Together, they prepared the craft for a journey beyond Earth. Ethan had learned to listen to the Echo, to act with purpose, and to understand the responsibility of his connection. He was ready to explore distant worlds, to help life in need, and to carry forward the legacy of courage, wisdom, and kindness left by Lyra's husband. The night was quiet, yet full of possibility. The stars above seemed to shine more brightly, as if acknowledging his readiness. Ethan felt the pulse of the Echo within him, steady and strong. It was a part of him now, a guide, a reminder, and a connection to the universe. As the craft lifted into the sky, Ethan looked at Earth below, feeling both love and responsibility. He had a new understanding of life, of choice, and of the paths that connected him to the stars. He was ready to act, to learn, and to protect. The Echo was his guide, but his spirit was his own. Lyra stood beside him, calm and steady. She had found the legacy she had been searching for, and now it was in Ethan's hands to continue. Together, they would face the universe, guided by courage, understanding, and the quiet strength of the echo. The journey ahead was vast, but Ethan felt ready. The stars above were no longer distant points of light. They were beacons of possibility, of life, and of choice. And with the echo awakened, he knew that he could step forward with courage, wisdom, and purpose, bringing hope and protection wherever he was needed. The adventure was only beginning, but Ethan felt certain that he was prepared. He carried the legacy, the guidance, and the strength of the echo. He carried hope. And with Lyra by his side, he would face the universe with calm determination, understanding, and courage. The stars stretched endlessly before him, and he smiled, ready to step into the path of his new life. The echo pulsed softly, steady and sure. Ethan was no longer ordinary. He was part of something greater. He was ready to protect, to guide, and to explore the extraordinary universe that awaited him.